Okay, we'll get started up here. Call the meeting to order. Mike, could we get you to do the pledge to us?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is the agenda approval. Everybody's got a copy of it there. Any comments or anything? Anybody want to mention any changes to it? Okay, we'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Have a second? Have a motion second to approve the agenda. All in favor, let me know, raise your right hand. Approved. Okay, next we have the minute approvals for September the 6th. It's under item number 4. Everybody's got a copy of it and had a copy of it. Any comments or what, so forth? We'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for September 6th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. September 6th.
Have a second? Have a motion second to approve. All in favor, let me know, raise your right hand. Okay. Okay, next we have the public hearings for the Pickens County millage rate for 2016. Of course, this is flat. There's no increase in the millage rate. Although you've got 2/100ths of a increase there. 1.289 compared to 1.289, or it's 1.289 proposed as compared to 1.287.
And that's by doing the calculation for the rollback, so we're adopting the rollback.
Okay. If you want to, anybody like to ask any questions or anything, address to Miranda there as our city clerk.
So we're just staying the same.
Basically, we had to make a little adjustment on count. The millage, the digest, I think, dropped in Pickens.
Yes, the rollback is what's calculated based upon the digest.
Anybody like to make any comments or anything on Okay, I guess we'll entertain a motion to approve close the meeting for the public hearing for 2016 millage rate. Entertain a motion to do so.
I present a motion to close the public hearing for the 2000.
Okay, we have a second. Okay, we have a second. All in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. Okay, next we have departmental reports for the city manager report. Miranda, this is your time to shine.
Yeah, first off, we've had a lot of positive feedback on the walking trail. We've had 3 positive articles in last week's newspaper. This means we're definitely moving in the right direction. Also, congratulations to our very own Councilman Havlin for his 3rd time win of the 2016 USA Track and Field National 24-Hour Champion for his age group of 70 to 74. Also, Elmick, the approved street striping was completed on 9/30, just in time for our visitors for the Marble Festival. The street looks fantastic, and a job well done to Parker pavement markings. The Marble Festival. Our participation in this year's Marble Festival was a success. We had a lot of visitors come through and tour the museum. We received about $12 in donations. We also won second place in the festival parade. I would like to give a big, thank you. I would like to give a big thank you to the art students at Jasper Middle School for their hard work on the structure they created for the float. I would also like to give a big thank you to the boys and girls of Creekview High School, JROTC, for their volunteer work during the tours. They did an amazing job greeting our guests. Last but not least, I'd also like to thank Lamar Kellett, Sue Cochran, and Councilwoman Monahan and her husband John for volunteering and making the event smooth and enjoyable. I appreciate all of the hard work from everyone. Universal Stair Company obtained their building permit today. We anticipate them starting to build their building within the next 2 weeks, so that's exciting. That's all I have.
Okay, and I'd like to add that we need to really show our appreciation to Miranda, who put forth a lot of effort on the market parade and all, so we really appreciate it, Miranda.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to also say, or inquire if you might tell us about the class that you attended.
Oh yes, I attended the Georgia Government Finance Officers Conference this year, the annual conference, and to which I obtained the award for the scholarship that I was awarded for. So that was fun. Got to learn some exciting stuff.
Tell us a little bit about what the classes were and what you.
One was how to prepare or getting ready for the audit, which is coming up at the end of this month. One was, we talked about the SWOST and how to do that with expenditures and if you want purchasing and all that good stuff. Trying to think of what else it was. Internal controls. Internal controls was a really good class to take. That gave me a little bit of insight on better record keeping and different processes and policies.
What does internal controls mean?
That's how you manage your documents, your reports. That's how you do your cash receipts, the purchasing policies and all of those different things. How you go about initiating purchases.
So does that mean that we're going to be bidding correctly on our
that's what we're working towards.
Agenda item coming up here because we sent you a class.
That is what we're working towards. Most definitely.
Good. I'm very pleased to see her attend these classes and to bring a level of competency that we need to. It's a complicated system doing SPLOS and stuff any one of these days.
Yeah, there's a lot of laws.
A lot of rules, and they change by the week. And
a lot of accounting principles that the laws, Gatsby's always updating all of that. And so by attending this conference, I was able to catch up on some of those. So,
good.
Yeah.
Well, very good, and of course, I've always been, and I think the whole council supports any kind of training that you want to take. You know, we certainly appreciate the efforts that you put forward and for the city of Dallas. Thank you. Okay, next we have the bid opening and approval of 352 Blue Ridge Avenue as far as tearing down tearing down the building.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in the back of your thing, you'll see I put you a little form on there. As I call out these, if you want to write down the company name and just write down what their bid amount was, so that way when we go back and look at which one we want to decide, then it's there.
Have you done some vetting on these in advance?
I have. We have some good companies that decided to give us some bids. We have Wrecking Corp. They've been awarded some of the bigger bids in the past and have definitely done business with other municipalities and school systems and such. Complete Demolition. Locations in 5 states. Able to provide complete service. They also have a history of municipal jobs. EnviroMasters, they did have a website, and their website was really good, and so they were able to perform the abatement and the demo as well. Diversified, which is DEM, completed jobs throughout the U.S. and with clientele consisting of county, municipal, and private sector. TOA, couldn't really find a whole lot of information. However, their Facebook shows that they have a lot of larger jobs that they've completed. So they seem like reputable companies. All right, we're going to start with Wrecking Corp. All right. All right. Wrecking Court's proposed bid is $54,000. We're going to go with complete demolition services. Promise to win.
You obviously haven't been opened already.
True story. True story. I had my doubts about having it open in public. Okay. All right. Complete demolition services. All right. Their proposed bid is $52,000. And that's the demolition and removal of debris, including the abatement of hazardous materials.
Good move.
All right. This is EnviroMasters. Their proposed bid is $67,800. This one is TOA. Their proposed bid is $47,900. Diversified Environmental Management, which is DEM, their proposed bid is $38,083.
38.
$38,083.
Now, do all these include the demo and the abatement, or do some of them not?
No, they're all universal. All universally the same. They're supposed to be the abatement and, yes, because they filled out these same forms.
All of them are bonded and insured.
Yes. And in awarding these, I think that when we do that, we definitely need to leave it open, if possible, by our attorney over there, to check references and check certifications.
Just approve it contingent on them passing your review.
Right.
Any comments? All right.
No, did you, when you did your vetting, see anything that differentiated any of these, or they're all pretty much providing the same service? There's nothing.
In the research that I did, I didn't see anything that really stood out as far as that would want to make me lean one way or the other.
Okay. Tina?
I mean, as far as price goes, we're looking at Diversified, and I was impressed by what Miranda said here. She said that they completed jobs throughout the United States with county, municipal, and private sector. That means a lot, so they've worked with municipalities before, and that gives me some faith in it. Although a bunch of them have done that as well.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for the price as well as, their qualifications.
Well, I think Miranda's done a good job of eliminating people that weren't qualified right up front. And, I think she's to be complimented on the job that she's done as far as this bid process. So I guess we'll entertain a motion.
Before we move forward. Okay. I didn't know if maybe some of them had entered as to when they would be able to start. And the length that they propose their project would take. And I'm not finding that here. 2A has a really long list of past projects included.
What is the diversified? Meaning, diversified what?
Diversified environmental management. Their references include the city of Dunwoody, Quest Community Development Organization, and DeKalb County.
You don't see anything in there detrimental as far as the completion dates or within the time frame of what that.
No.
Would you like me to make a motion?
Somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the low bid of diversified environmental management subject to a reference check and the city manager's confirmation of a closing, a finish date, a date when they're going to do this at this year's schedule. Lost too far into the history.
And also in this process, we need to be sure that we try to maintain the integrity of the paving that's out up there in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
We
included that in her.
included that in.
Right, I know we did, but sometimes they may walk the track go across through there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we went through this process before, I had discussed letting them work off that road down there between the railroad track and the building. And I talked to the phone company, and they said that it wouldn't be any problem at all to lift those lines and secure them up there to a higher position, so that we were worried about where our track posts would go up underneath there. Of course, if they use the smaller equipment, it should be fine. All righty, we have a motion to accept the $38,083, and that is payable through the Cherokee County Supply. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second that.
Have a motion second. All in favor, let me know by raising your right hand. And it's accepted pending the verification of our legal counsel. Okay, next we have a security camera approval. This is something that you've spent a little bit of time looking into, Miranda. What's the, where does this security cameras, does it come into City Hall here as far as feed from it, or where does it come to?
Yes. This is actually cameras that will cover the new playground. It'll cover the each side of the community center, and it'll also cover the ball field. We do have a lot of people that just drive through the city that actually stop at the restrooms, use the restrooms over there. There's a lot of kids that are over there that are unattended. I think having the security cameras would probably help with that situation. And having that, what it's going to do, there's one company in here, which is the Syntech, that wants to mount them on the poles over at the baseball field, so you're not able to touch them or get to them or throw things out of them or whatever. And they're going to shoot it back to City Hall, so we'll be able to monitor it here at City Hall. You'll also be able to monitor it away from City Hall. So
Through the web.
right,
web.
remote monitoring. Sorry.
Okay, now that putting them on the poles. Do we have Zoom? Does it have Zoom capability where we can zoom in?
Yes.
On what's going on?
All 3 quotes that we received are the best quality that you can get when it comes to, not the best quality, but they're all in about the same category when it comes to the HD and the different.
Well, you know that like the cameras up there at the jail, at Pickens County Jail, you can read a tag number going out the street there. I mean, that's how far the surveillance camera
You
is
said they could do
coming
that
on.
too? Yeah, these ones will do
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
I'm sure
thing.
it will, yeah.
Yeah.
The Syntech was the last one that came out, and he actually was the one that stated that he wanted to put them on the pole, and he had said you want to go with more of a megapixel that creates a better picture. I can tell you the ATG, he's got the HD cameras that he has listed. I'm not really sure what the difference is in those cameras, but we also need to consider too, long-term wise, we don't want to purchase something that's not going to last. We want to go with something a little bit more, that's going to last a longer time.
Now the other two don't, where do the other two want to mount their, companies want to mount their cameras?
On the corners of the building, like on the community center, it would be on each corner. One would be covering the basketball court. You know how the basketball court's kind of hidden, you can't really see it from the road. That wall's right there. And so it'll cover that whole area, and it'll go from the back of the community center towards that area. If you look in the back of your packet, most all of them included like a picture, a graph.
I mean, my concern is, I was out there in broad daylight with my daughter the other day on was it a school night? Might have been a school night. I don't remember when it was anymore. But anyway, we were out here in broad daylight and people were throwing rocks at the community building. There, I mean, windows, just right there. All these people out there at the playground, people sitting at the park or whatever, and just didn't even care that people were watching. And when you said something to them, they cursed me out and flipped me bird.
You didn't arrest them.
With my looks? No, I mean,
They didn't realize you quit smoking, so they.
No, but they I mean, once you did, I said, once I showed them my phone and said I was going to call the police, and that darted them off. But it's the point is, if people are willing to do that in broad daylight, then my suggestion would be to try to get these cameras up where it's going to present a whole lot of effort for them to destroy them, or we're going to wind up replacing them every couple of months.
And also, we need to resolve as a council, in my opinion, if we have an opportunity to press criminal charges on any damage, that we do so. This is something that, we don't need to mess around with. If we have something that we can charge a criminal charge on, we need to put them in before a court where they deal with it. And
I think we got some video.
Yeah, that helps. Miranda, in your opinion, since you met with all of them and discussed, what do you think?
The only thing that I have reserves about on the Syntech is that, one, the price difference. I'm not sure what you're going to get for quality wise. I mean, he states that these cameras are great, but I like the idea of mounting them on the poles. Larry, do you know if those poles, the pole at the end of the baseball field, is that our pole?
the old power pole?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I think everything is our pole.
Because he said that would be the only problem, is if they're not our poles, we would have to get permission. But other than that.
I was pretty impressed by Syntech.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the other two.
You know what brand they're installing?
You know, talked pixels to us and all that, made it sound like it wasn't the bottom of the line, that it was a pretty good resolution, but I don't know. I just listened about it, yeah.
Well, we need to, if we do it, we need to be sure before we pay them, that's what we want, and then what we.
Yeah,
what
can
we
you ask
do.
him if he's got some in their area, you can call someone and talk to him?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And
If we can get some maybe references, yeah, that's a good idea, Dave.
Yeah. So would you like a motion subject to reviewing other customers?
Well, I think, you know, the price difference here is substantial, so
Warranty.
if we have Miranda do the proper vetting, and of course, if you decide that we don't need to go with that,
Let's
bring it back before the council.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll make a motion to, that we,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
would
ma'am.
you allow members of the audience to speak on this?
I don't see anything wrong with that, go ahead.
Couple of points. One is the warranty of these devices. Second, and to me, the bigger concern is I haven't heard anything about storage of video. All I've heard is the ability to view a video. Obviously, there won't be somebody here 24/7, so it would seem that you would need some capability of storing that data for a week or whatever. And I don't know if this equipment does that. Do y'all know if it does that?
It's 30 days.
30 days?
All three of them is
Recycles
30
at
days.
30 days. And Paul's background is in this exact field. He's very knowledgeable about the capabilities that are out there.
Thank you.
Appreciate the input. Okay, we have a motion to,
I'm making a motion that we would accept the Syntech proposal subject to the city manager's review of warranty issues, and as well as speaking to other previous clients to test kind of a due diligence on the, and we're trying to kind of, this is not the motion, but we're trying to see if this price is not unrealistic. I mean, there's a big difference between the other two. And, on the other hand, it might be a very good price. But yeah.
do we have a motion and a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, so all in favor, let the number raise your right hand. Unanimously approved. You know, don't hesitate as far as vetting these.
Yeah.
So we'll
And you just bring it back if there's any question.
Okay, next we have the opportunity for 2016 council election candidates to speak. We don't have any specific order set up for them to follow, so who would like to go first?
Thank you very much for allowing us to address the council and the audience tonight. My name is Lamar Kellett, and I'm seeking a seat on the council. I've lived in Nelson for over 20 years, and for about 18 of those years, I've participated in city government, either through being on the planning commission or just in being present and giving input to the council during those years. While we were on the planning commission, while I was president of the planning commission, we were fortunate enough to get the funds to build our newest addition to the park. We had over $250,000 out of the Cherokee County bond issue which we're not scheduled to get any of those funds, but the council at that time authorized the planning commission to go forward and seek some of those funds in order to enhance our park. And during that time, they also gave us a master plan for future years for our park. And I would like to see Nelson continue. I think we've done some good things here in the recent past, and I would like to, in the future, be a part of that. I think I have gained a lot of experience through my career. I've worked for 33 years for the Federal Aviation Administration in electronics. And then about the last 15 of that, I was heavily involved in supervising people in personnel management, as well as a lot of contract activity, writing up contracts, and also seeing that the contracts were implemented correctly. I would like to see Belton as a minimum. I know we're limited in our funds, but I'd like to see that we utilize any funding that we get to the utmost, taking care to be prudent in our expenditures. And I would like to see us be a safe city with good law enforcement coverage, be a clean city through our utilizing our ordinances, and also be a city that maintains the infrastructure to the highest level that we can afford, having good roads, sidewalks, ditches, and drainage, and these sort of issues that it takes to make a city be a good operating city. I feel like through my experience with working with the city, I contributed to the previous city clerks in the areas of zoning, land disturbance, soil erosion, and those types of issues. So I know what it takes to run a city because I've been here and observed the good times and bad times. I think we're on the right path. And for those of you here, as well as the council, I would appreciate your vote on November the 8th. And I will do my best to do the very best possible job that I'm able to do for the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm Kelsey Real. I'm not a politician, and my resume cannot touch on ours. We've only been here about 3 years, and I just think I could help out. You know, we're residents of the city, we're not in one of the neighborhoods, and I'll be here to help and do what we can to get things straightened out. That's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Kelsey?
As, well, we certainly appreciate everybody's interest and input there, so everybody make up their mind and be sure we vote. It's very important to vote this.
And remember when you guys do vote, that you get to pick 2 people, because there's 2 seats. Like the last time we had an election, they didn't explain that, and so people were only voting for 1 person, but you can vote for 2.
Good point.
All righty, we'll move right along here to the public comments. Anybody that would like to get up and make the public comments is welcome to come to the podium and do so.
I don't know a lot about, my name is Wayne Thompson. Tom, like Tom. I've lived here for 16 years. I come to these meetings. I've seen all kinds of chaos and everything, but I see what I can gather as some organization finally going on here, mainly because of this gal Miranda. I want to thank you for your work. It's apparent to me somebody's looking out for us. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Edith Portillo, Channel 4, Laurel Lake. I have two questions, Miranda. What happened to Joey? He was fired?
I can't really talk about that.
Okay. And what's going on with the money that was stolen?
I can't talk about that either.
Oh, I'm batting 100. I'm batting 100. Okay, that was it. I was going to make a comment about Mr. Kellett's last response to what I said, but I'm not even going to bother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Edith.
Anybody else? Yes.
Good evening. My name's Paul Fell, and I live in Laurel Lake. I guess I got a question, not for the council, but for the two candidates. Is that acceptable to do?
I would think that it would be.
Why not?
Same questions for both of you. The first one, and Lamar kind of mentioned this, is a safe city with law enforcement. So at this point, we don't have law enforcement. So would you be in favor of reestablishing the Nelson Police Department, or would you prefer it to remain as is?
Do you want me to answer first?
Yes, I do.
As I said before, I want the city to be safe for everyone. If the council, in analyzing the needs of the city, determined that they want a specific police force, then I would work with the council on that. I don't want to go on record at this point because they have information that I don't have as far as the alternatives. But I know from the past, when we only had one policeman, we had very small amount of real coverage. When you look at 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, we generally had like, I think in the end we had 30 hours of police presence in a week. So as you see, that's a very small amount. So if there are alternatives that would give us better coverage to make us safer, I would be willing to listen to that.
So you're open either way, basically?
Yes, I would work with the council to get the best solution.
Okay. And the other one that I was going to ask about, I think you've already answered that. You were in favor of code enforcement for the city.
Yes, that's, as you know, that's been an area I've been involved with ever since I started coming to these meetings. And I've pointed out that when you take your oath of office, you don't really have an alternative just to do whatever you want to. That's why we have rules, and I'm in favor of using the rules and using good sense to look at the situation and determine just the best way to enforce whatever ordinance is involved, be it for the protection of the houses through the building codes or any of the ordinances. They're all important. If they're not important, then let's work to remove them from our city codes. So the answer is yes.
Okay. Kelsey, what's your thoughts on the restarting the police department?
Well, I have a little more insight because my husband was a police chief. I think it really just depends. I think you're going to get more coverage using the counties, but I also, seeing the other side of it, I think if it was reestablished, there was a lot of behind the scenes pushing and shoving that needs to go away. I think the amount of money that you pay a police chief was ridiculous, much less the blame that's put on them for things that aren't their fault. So you need to have more than just a police chief. You have to have other people there because people complain if they're not seeing them. So I think if it works with the counties, that's fantastic. If it doesn't, then you reestablish it, but the budget has to be drastically more than what it had been previously.
What about the code?
The code, I think every city needs code enforcement. But at the same time, I think you have to take into consideration that some people that live here are elderly and they may not be able to maintain things. So there needs to be a system to help those people out, and you can't selectively choose who to, go after for code violations. It has to be across the board, and the city has to clean up their mess before they can point the finger at somebody else.
Okay, thank you. I ran over a little bit and I appreciate you
That's no problem.
allowing that. Thank you.
Okay, next we have an executive session, so if someone's going to make a motion, we'll adjourn to the executive session.
Motion just for a brief executive session for personnel issues.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor of the number, raise your right hand. Okay, now this won't be a long one, so